What up, YouTube? What up, YouTube? What up, YouTube family? How y'all doing? Well, got some good news. So Trump said he signed off for taxpayers to get $2,000 rebate. That's good. I was so sick yesterday. I could only do that one video, and I'm behind. I gotta stay in the algorithm, y'all. I got to. Y'all like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. But yeah, this thing they done release. Hey, Money Low. Oh, you can come up when I tell you. You can come up too. How you doing? I have been so sick under the weather. They have released that virus back out here. Everybody, if they not sick, they getting sick. This is the same thing as before. I've been battling this for about 3 weeks now. So at least I had natural immunity because when winter comes, this is awful. This is awful. It's so nice to see you. I like that video you did. We gotta talk about that when that Charlie Kirk when I do it. Stuff still coming out because his autopsy just came out. I don't like doing topics when they first happen. Did you see I finally did the Hoovers and the indictment? Oh, you know what? Come up. I want to ask you about that since you here. I'm about to put the link in. You know about the Hoovers and the I want to ask you about Nova. Damn, I'm getting all off topic. And her mama Tania. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, let me put the link in. Hold on, I'm about to put it in. Okay, it's coming in. Just click the link. I'm cooking me some chicken so I can finally eat some. I'll be right back. There go the link. It ain't quite ready yet. Oh, you ain't up yet. So I'm gonna continue on until Money Low come up. Because I do got some questions because he from LA. And y'all go check out his channel, the Money Low channel. He has some informative stuff on there. And all right. Oh, here we go. Did I add you? I thought I did. Hold on.
Hey,
Okay, there you go. Hey, what's going on, Money Low? How you
I'm
been?
good with it. I'm good. How you
I
doing?
missed you, Money Low.
Same here. Just been working.
All right, I missed talking. Oh, that's all. Yeah, I understand that. I'm about to go to work in a little bit, but I've been under the weather. But I got to get these videos out because you got
Right.
to stay in the algorithm with YouTube. But so anything new going on with the Hoovers and they indictment with Lady Duck? She done. She about to get life.
Oh yeah, they done with. Now that nothing new that I
You
heard. Just
heard
that,
any?
that little fight they had up in there with loose cannon.
Oh yeah. Well, they say Loose Cannon knocked one of them out, or they said they knocked him out, which he said wasn't true, because he
Right.
fought three of them or something. Well, one thing I like about LA niggas is that they squabble, and that's the good thing. You can come back alive with a squabble, even if you
Exactly.
get beat up. You know what I mean? I
Right.
respect that instead of
You
going
said you
on
want to know about
killing somebody. You know what I'm saying?
uh Tania and her daughter?
And then you get in there and can't fight it, huh?
You said you want to know about Tania and her daughter?
Yeah, yeah. Now what you now? And so her daughter by Snoopy Badass, or is that
No,
the other
no, no.
baby,
No,
the
that's not
other
Snoopy
kid
Badass daughter.
by Snoopy? You going
Yes, I
in and
do.
out? I can't hear you.
That's all it is. Yeah, that's not Snoopy Badass daughter.
Okay, it's not. Okay, so she got a one of other her kids is by him then.
Right. I am.
Was they? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good? I was talking to my lady. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So was they? I mean, it's a. I'm just perplexed at how the hell her daughter started prostituting at 13 years old on Figueroa. How
Damn straight.
it just
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
right,
I know
and
both
how
of them.
you and they say, I mean, how she let that happen?
The girl's a runaway. Yeah, she's a professional runaway.
Oh, she is. Okay, okay, okay. And because when she got a YouTube, I went on over YouTube and she was talking about when she was 13, her first boyfriend was like 32.
Right.
And I'm like, what in the world? I can say she a bold little girl. That's all I can say.
Okay.
But me, but me as a mother,
Hmm.
I would just feel like a failure. It's something that I did wrong for my daughter to feel so comfortable to hit the streets when you didn't
Right.
have to.
Real talk.
You know what I'm
Oh
and
yeah, I know
then
exactly what you're saying.
the amount of money, but it's the money she made out that she was making. Like they said, I think in one thing I saw, they said she was. Oh, that was ATM Richie. ATM Richie, I think it
Yeah, I don't know
was,
that guy.
and he was put her out there, and then come back with 1,500 the next day. I'm like,
Yeah, that's a child.
ATM
Either way, that's
Richie,
a child, man.
I don't like. Man, I just think that it's just man. Yeah, so you said you know both of them. So what you think about the situation?
Say it again.
I was saying you said you know Tania and Nova. What you think about the situation?
The situation, of course, is not good, but they're good people, man. They're good people. Their situation ain't good, especially with the little girl. I mean, she see what her mama do, so she want
Yeah.
to play it out too. If your daddy play basketball, you might want to play
Okay.
basketball. If your mama's a model, you might want to be a model. In this case, uh, mama's a prostitute, she want to be a prostitute.
Right.
It's all bad, all
Your
bad.
mom.
Right.
Right. Right. But Tania said she was never out there on the streets, but she still was doing things to get. Yeah, I see your point.
Right.
I see your point.
Yeah, them LA streets is
Yep, I
dangerous,
see
man.
your point.
And I mean,
It's just
any
sad.
streets is
All
bad, but them LA streets, is real addictive. It's real addictive.
now, yeah, well, but Figueroa always been Figueroa. That ain't never
Oh yeah.
changed.
Oh yeah. Back in the day, see, when I was growing up on Fig, you had grown women prostitutes. You ain't have these damn kids out there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Cause when I first went to LA, we drove down Figueroa just to see. I was like blown back. I was like, wow, it was out there.
Right.
But now, now I found that I'm gonna get back to Kilmar Garcia at
Right.
that. But do you know he locked up? I
Who
watched
that?
B Brazy. He locked up,
Uh,
and I put B Brazy. I guess he live off Figueroa because he always say Figueroa facts, but he in prison.
yeah, Pasadena. Pasadena just
But
ain't
I
too
put
far.
his interview at the end of my video of Hoovers. It's at the end.
Uh, yeah, Pasadena not too far from
I
Figueroa.
like him.
You do or
He
you
was
don't?
like, because he'd be like, it's bad people. It's bad people. It's PK. I told you, huh?
Right.
What'd you say?
I said, you like B Brazy?
He I do. I love him. I love him.
Okay.
I do.
Cool.
He said, I told PK4 before that if you do anything and you come up in here, it's bad for you. It's gonna be bad for you, whether it's true or not. It's gonna be
Right.
bad for you. He bad people. And I try to watch him all the time. He a cool dude. He is really a cool dude.
Right. Right.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm
Just
gonna
mention it.
let you go unless you want to
Okay.
sit up here and talk about Kilmar
I'm
Garcia.
gonna be looking
But
at the show.
y'all check out and subscribe to Money Low channel.
That's
Huh?
right. All right, that'll be good.
All right, but subscribe to Money Low channel. He a cool dude. All right. You want to sit up here? You might have something to say. I don't know. Let me get my chicken out. Shit. Let me get my chicken. Let me get my chicken. Hey Grayson, how you doing? So, getting back on topic, Kilmar Garcia, the Maryland man, I don't know how the hell that he thought you are an illegal that you was gonna beat the Trump administration. That because all on fake ass Democrats went and flew to El Salvador, that you was gonna get out of this, and then they bring you back to charge you with human trafficking. The two judges have denied you to reopen your immigration case. You had a final order of deportation in 2019 and you decided to stay here. I have no feelings for you. Get the fuck out, is how I feel about it. You done beat your wife. She had a restraining order against you. All of these things, you are illegal. You have no rights. And for those senators that flew out there, it's a damn shame. Y'all put these illegals. George Soros must have paid y'all people a whole lot of money to turn your backs on American people the way you. And then you stop in the government shutdown because you want health care for illegals, $1.1 trillion. Fuck them. You ain't paid into the system. You not a citizen. You don't get those benefits. So Trump done remove you from housing, Medicaid, Medicare, Section 8, food stamps. You don't deserve any of that. You haven't paid. You illegal. You don't get none of that before we do. Now I don't have no problem if we had anything left over that y'all get the scraps. That's fine with me. But you being put ahead of American people is wrong. And y'all finding out Trump ain't playing with the people. And and he and what he's doing, and I just gonna put this out here. And what he's doing in Chicago, Memphis, LA is that he making y'all deal with the crime. He making y'all it's embarrassing that things under democratic rule have never changed for us black folks. Nothing has changed. So he putting the crime blatant in your face. He making you address it. But the only thing that can concur crime is what? Jobs, better education instead of indoctrination of these kids. Jobs, entrepreneurial skills. You got to show people that it's a better way. And without doing that, showing them that it's a better way, you're going to have crime. And it's hard out here. And people going to do whatever they got to do to survive. And that's facts. That's facts. And that's what they do. So that's all I got to say about that. But anyway, getting back to his bitch ass. Now, this just came out. Judge orders hearing on whether Kilmar Garcia was target of a vindictive prosecution. He had a final order deportation 2019. How's it vindictive? What you think you gonna win against this administration? No, no. Kilmar Garcia and his wife Jennifer, and where all them Democrats now? They sure ain't surrounding him, embracing him now. You was used as a scapegoat, and as soon as that didn't work and backfired on them, these senators that all flew to El Salvador is nowhere to be found. You was used, and now you dropped like a bad apple. Kilmar Garcia and his wife General arrived for a check-in at the Immigration Customs Enforcement in Baltimore on August 25th. A federal judge on Friday ordered a hearing on whether the criminal case against Kilmar Garcia was a result of vindictive prosecution, finding there's some evidence that it was. In his 16-page ruling, U.S. District Judge Waverly Crenshaw in Tennessee noted that the investigation in Abrego was reopened shortly after he successfully challenged to the U.S. Supreme Court what the Trump administration acknowledged was his mistaken deportation. It wasn't a mistake, it was a clear error. They checked the wrong box. Tell the truth. That's why they caught the fake news. The investigation also came after nervous administration officials, including Pam Bondi and Christy Nome, repeatedly accused Abrego of guilty of numerous crimes, being a gang member, MS-13, and a terrorist. Well, Trump declared MS-13. He declared Antifa, which I'm so happy, as a terrorist group. What's the other gang? MS-13. I'm sure they do one of them damn Venezuelans. Actual vindictiveness may be apparent based on executive official defendants and his subordinate statements about Abrego the time he filed his Maryland lawsuit challenging his deportation. I don't see how he could challenge that at all because all he said is that he was scared to go back to El Salvador, and now uh, Bukele crushed the gangs there. They all locked up. Ain't no crime even in El Salvador no more because they all locked up. So now they trying to say it was vindictive. Okay, so if it's vindictive, was he? That's not the charge. The charge is, was he part of human trafficking? Was he bringing illegals over here? Is he an MS-13 gang member, which is a terrorist organization? Now, so what the fuck? If it's vindictive or not, he still got to fight the charges. Now, immigration judge denies Kilmar Abrego got bid to reopen immigration. He was denied twice. An immigration judge in Maryland declined to reopen the immigration case involving Kilmar Garcia, the Salvadorian man who was mistakenly, see all that bullshit. Anyway, I'm going to go past that. His lawyers had asked immigration judge in August to reopen the procedure and allow him to seek asylum in the United States. How the fuck, when you had a final order of deportation, that while the bid was denied, Garcia can appeal the decision to immigration appeals, and it's still going to be denied. In a court filing in one of his cases, his lawyer said immigration judge Philippe determined there is insufficient evidence that the Department of Homeland Security has presented with a formal notice of removal or any other document showing its intent to remove him to Uganda or any other third country. Taylor wrote in a separate decision, there's insignificant evidence. Well, they was talking about that they was going to, since he didn't want to go, that he was asked would he go to Costa Rica. He said no. So then the other option was they was gonna send your ass to Africa, to some country called Istavar. I ain't never heard of it. I don't know where it is, but anyway, good riddance. His lawyers tried to fight his removal from the U.S., but one thing is certain: the Salvadoran man is not going to be able to remain in our country, and that's a fact. He will never be allowed to prey on innocent Americans again. But an immigration judge in 2019 had granted Garcia a withholding of removal, a legal status that prohibited Department of Homeland Security from removing him to his home country, but he was supposed to go to any other country. A federal judge ordered the Trump administration to facilitate Abrigo's return to the U.S. So they brought him back, and now they charge him with 2 counts of human trafficking. He pleaded not guilty to both counts, and in July, a federal judge overseeing his criminal case ordered him to be released on bond. And when they released him on bond, they came and picked his ass up. Now you tell me how you gonna win this? But he remained detained for several weeks because of concerns that Garcia would swiftly be taken into immigration custody, and they said they would. He left criminal confinement late August, but was arrested by immigration authorities days later when he went for an interview at the court. They told you they was gonna do. They not playing with you. And a judge in Maryland temporarily blocked the Trump administration from removing Garcia from the U.S. He has been held at the detention center in Virginia, but was transferred to a facility in Pennsylvania last month. I just want to see how you think you gonna win this. They want your ass gone. They want him gone so bad. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him anymore. If you know what I'm saying. Okay, that's the latest update. I'm about to just get to these videos. I'm hungry. I wanna let me find. Oh, Money Low, my son gave me a way where I can get my videos. I don't have to scuffle no more. I am so glad and thankful to him. All right, here we go. Oh, that's April. Let me get to the oldest one first. Here go the lie.
Filling an empty seat on a plane to El Salvador with a man from Maryland apparently took priority over ruling from 2 judges that said that man should not be sent out of the country. The first judge said it was for his protection. The second questioned the 200-year-old law federal authorities were using to send him to El Salvador. News continues to break on this case, and late Friday afternoon on April 4th, a federal judge ordered that man Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia be sent back to this country within a few days. That's after the government admitted in court documents from the White House podium and again in court that they had sent him out of the country by air. They called it an administrative or a clerical error.
Right.
They said they couldn't get him back.
It was an administrative error. The administration maintains the position that this individual who was deported to El Salvador and will not be returning to our country was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang.
It sounds like you're really trying to verify all this stuff as you're going through.
Initially, I'm emailing ICE. What happened to this man? He was in your custody.
You looked at speeding tickets for this guy?
There's nothing in there.
His
Clean
time.
record.
The government of the United States has clearly violated his rights by deporting him to El Salvador.
If you illegal, you have no rights as far as I'm concerned. The rights are, the constitutional rights is for citizens, not illegals. And I don't get where they don't get much due processes as that, because most of the time they are deported because these are economic asylum seekers, not persecution asylum seekers.
People have been looking for more context about how this happened and what's next. I'm Ted Oberg with the News 4i team. Let's dig in. This is how my colleague, Paul Wagner here at News 4, broke the story on March 18th.
Oh, we ain't listening to all this.
Call him Armando, is now in prison in El Salvador. News 4 is protecting his identity because his wife is afraid for his safety. That's him, according to his wife, being frog-walked by guards in a video posted to X by El Salvador's president over the weekend. A terrifying image for his wife, Jennifer, who had no idea where he was until she recognized him in the video. Jennifer says she also recognized Armando from this photo. She can see his distinctive tattoos, which News 4 has blurred.
This is unfair. You just don't go randomly picking up people and sending them and putting them on a plane.
My News 4 colleague, Paul Wagner, broke this story several weeks.
Well, we're not supposed to randomly let anybody cross the border who walked through a damn jungle to just come in unvetted, and we don't know who the hell these people are. That's illegal too. But did nobody raise no stink about this shit under the Biden-Harris administration? And that's just a fact. So that part illegal too.
When you've got a couple minutes before you head back out on it today, I wonder if you can tell me, where is Kilmar now and how often has he been able to talk to his family?
We only know that he's in the prison.
Okay,
in El
we're going to
Salvador.
stop that because that's, oh, he back here now. So we just going to move on past that. I'm not even going to play this. Well, yeah, I am.
Welcome back. Continuing with the news here in Maryland today, we are staying on top of breaking news. Moments ago, a judge in Maryland ordered a man arrested by ICE in Maryland last month and mistakenly deported to El Salvador be returned to the United States next week.
The government admitted the deportation was a mistake.
Okay,
but
we don't
maintained
need to
they no
hear
longer
that.
had the
That's all we need to know, that they did that. We ain't going to listen to all this bullshit. Okay, I'm not going to play that. Yep, I got these all in order. Oh, I thank my son. Okay, I'm not going to play that either. That's the same thing. Okay, I'm going to play this one.
Right now, we are waiting to hear from the wife of a Prince George's County man who was deported in El Salvador in error. Thank you for joining us on WUSA 9+. I'm Simone D'Alba, joined by Rafael Sanchez-Cruz. You have been closely following this case. I wanted to set the ground rules here about what's going to take place. Today, about 2
I'm going to
dozen
put this down. I'm about to get my
senators
chicken
from Maryland
start
and
eating.
Virginia
Oh,
have signed
shit.
a letter to U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. They are demanding that Kilmar Abrego Garcia be returned to the U.S. Now, his wife, Jennifer Vasquez Sura, is on Capitol Hill seeking answers from the Trump administration. And so that is what we're closely watching today. What are you thinking that might come out of this?
Yeah, well, let's just set the scene too, Simone. So on Monday, Chief Justice John Roberts, he blocked an order from a Maryland federal judge that basically told the Trump administration that they had to return Abrego Garcia to Maryland by just before midnight. He blocked that order. Now his lawyer, Abrego Garcia's lawyer, has responded to the Supreme Court basically saying that they have returned migrants in the past, and now they're asking answers from the Trump administration as to why they are not following through and why this father of three has not been returned to Maryland.
I wanted to touch on something because the Trump
Okay, I'm
administration...
gonna move past this. I want to get to his
to
wife.
the Supreme Court Justice.
And you crying after he done whoop your ass, and you had a restraining order so many times. Well, I guess she's still
Court
up.
ruled that indeed this should have never happened. The rule that my life partner Kilmar should have returned home 50 hours ago. But here I am again today, standing before you, pleading that you continue to uplift his story and remember his name, because the Trump administration and the Bukele administration continues to delay the reunification of my family. This so-called administration error has destroyed my family's happiness, my children's innocence. Kilmar, if you can hear me, I'm still fighting for you. Your brother, your mother, our children are still fighting for you. We're not going to give up hope to the Supreme Court Justice, to the right thing. History will always remember you.
No, they won't.
To everyone at home who can still hear my voice and are fighting for the return of their loved ones, keep fighting for Kilmar and all the Kilmars out there. Let Kilmar's word inspire you. Si tú eres fuerte, yo seré fuerte. The administration continues terror attacks will not keep us silent ever. Thank you to CASA and our attorneys and all the members of the Congress for standing here today and all the effort in fighting back for my family and all the immigrant communities.
Where they at now? This all. They ain't nowhere to be. They ain't see shit about them.
Thank you.
Gracias, Jennifer. Estamos aquí.
Okay, that's all I wanted to play of that. Now, this is where they saying he is MS-13.
Joined by Republican Congressman Tim Burchett of Tennessee. Congressman, as always, thanks for hopping on with me, sir.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm in my car.
No, it's all good. It's all good. What do you think of this new evidence? Is this what you were hoping for in the case? Because, I'm here in Chicago. I just think of all the people of all different backgrounds wearing Chicago Bulls gear today. Is that really going to be the X factor in this case for Republicans?
Yeah. I think what broke yesterday, nobody knows about, a little publication in Tennessee. I guess it's on the internet. I'm not sure what the young folks call it. It's called the Tennessee Star. They broke a story yesterday that this man apparently was pulled over in Tennessee without a license and was arrested for human trafficking, and then when our Tennessee Highway Patrol, which do an excellent job, I'm a big fan of them. They did great work. They found out that this guy was apparently on the terrorist watch list, and during the Biden administration, the Biden FBI told our state troopers to turn him loose. Now,
they damn sure did.
ought to do some research.
The Biden administration, they made the call and said, turn him loose. They don't do that for none of us. For us, If we detain, we done. We going to jail. Ain't nobody coming and talking about turn them loose, let them go freely. We don't get that treatment.
Oh man, it's called the Tennessee Star, and they do excellent work. And so there's a lot more to this guy than meets the eye. I stand with the White House. I think he's MS-13, and I think that they got the goods on him.
And I don't know how many people out there are claiming that he is the most upstanding citizen, but if you got to
Exactly, he's not.
you have the Supreme Court saying White House, okay, facilitate his his return back to the United States. Do you want to be the hill that President Trump dies on? I mean, are you worried about okay, you win this battle, but you lose the war in the end, sir?
I think America's so fed up. I mean, where was this senator? Where was his reaching out to families that people had died from? I have a close friend of mine, the Corcoran family. Their child was killed by an illegal that was drunk driving. These people should never be here. Now, what the left is saying, oh, they need due process. What they're wanting is every one of them gets a trial. Now, that will take years, and it will never, ever happen for the tens of thousands of illegals that are here.
Facts.
We have to have access to a system that provides justice for Americans. And the system is currently working. President Trump is correct in his assumption. I feel like I don't feel like this guy is a Sunday school teacher, and I think they got him.
As I just mentioned, this report now involves what do you think about the optics of this? Is it good for the Republican Party or for the White House to not be following orders from the nation's highest court?
Well, the White House currently it's out of their hands. I mean, does our Supreme Court have say so over a president in another country? That's where we're at now, regardless of if a mistake was made or not. I don't think it was. I think
Right. You don't have you issue a ruling and he's in another country, a sovereign country who has its own laws. You can't just go and tell that other country, they don't have to. They really don't. They don't have to. They ain't got to do nothing that the United States say. It's their country.
And the wife of Kilmar Abrego Garcia admits she filed a civil protective order against her husband 4 years ago. The Department of Homeland Security posted portions of Jennifer Vasquez Sora's protective order against him on social media yesterday. At the same time, the White House seized on the information as evidence to their claim that Abrego Garcia is a violent member of the MS-13 gang. Scripps News Deputy Political Director Joe St. George joins me now live from Capitol Hill. Joe, this detail from 2021 seems to play in the White House narrative that Abrego Garcia is a bad guy. How much could it hurt his case?
Well, there's two sides of this, and it very much depends on your politics, I think, as to what side you're following, you're believing. You have one side saying that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a family man who should be leading his family's prayers during this holy week of Easter. That was said at a recent rally in support of him this week in Maryland. Or you could be listening to the Trump administration, which is painting him as a gang member with a violent past. And what we saw with this court document, and it's important, right? We provide context here at Scripps News Group so you can understand all sides here. There is no dispute from the family that there was a protective order filed many years ago. But as attorneys have said in recent hours, as the wife of Mr. Garcia has said in a statement, that there was no conviction here, and that they had moved on from that, and their marriage became a stronger marriage as a direct result of what unfolded many years ago. So that's the context associated with this. But the Trump administration has been on a full out.
He's still illegal. They ain't talking about that part. He's still illegal. The fuck? And I think this man, Chris Van Hollen, I hope y'all vote his ass out in Maryland because that Rachel Warren case, and Trump honored her when she was brutally assaulted and raped by an illegal who is now, I think he got life, and how he assaulted her. He banged her head on the concrete so hard that part of her brain was protruding. You ain't said shit to that family in Maryland, but you was advocating for this, for Garcia. You ain't said nothing to her. This is his. I ain't gonna play much of it.
And we have a long-time common goal between
Y'all need to vote his
United
ass
States
out.
and El Salvador to crack down on transnational gangs like MS-13. I have been fighting against MS-13 for probably longer than Donald Trump even heard about MS-13.
And that's a lie.
And they're trying to make this case about Kilmar all about MS-13. When in fact, the judge in the case has said they've not provided substantial or any significant evidence to back up their claim. Now, for a particular set of facts or claims, but I am here to vouch for the judicial system in the United States, which guarantees individuals the right to due process. And that is the difference.
And he had due process. He was issued a order of deportation in 2019. The fuck?
Between being illegally detained and abducted, like Kilmar, Abrego, Garcia, and the right to have your day in court.
He had his day in court in 2019 with a final order of deportation. The fuck? How much due process do these illegals get? They not citizens. What the fuck is happening here?
Illegally abducted and taken out of the country, and now sits illegally in Sika prison in El Salvador. And we need to.
And not once did you say anything about Rachel Morin, who was brutally assaulted, raped, and unalived, with her brain protruding after that illegal in your state, bitch. You ain't said nothing about that.
Joining us now is Sean Spicer, former White House press secretary. Sean Spicer, thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour. It appears that some Democrats are using the case of alleged MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be some kind of hero. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen traveled to El Salvador to see Kilmar Abrego Garcia and to push for his release. It's not going his way, though. He wasn't able to visit him. But, you know, the mainstream media has just been fawning over this alleged criminal, describing him as a Maryland father. Tom Homan has blasted the Democrats and parts of the mainstream media for defending him.
Well, read a story about this. It's Maryland father, Maryland father. They don't mention he's a member of MS-13, who is not a designated terrorist group, one of the most violent gangs in the world. They don't mention he's an MS-13 member. They don't mention he's an El Salvadorian citizen being held by the country of El Salvador.
Facts.
El Salvador makes that decision. Now the court said we're going to facilitate. We'll facilitate, but El Salvador has full authority on this. Again, a terrorist threat. Now if somehow he comes back and that happens, he's going to be detained and removed again. He's an MS-13 gang member based on our intelligence and El Salvador's intelligence. He will be detained and he will be deported. And what's the sense of bringing someone back to simply go and face deportation again?
Facts.
Public safety threat. He's a gang member. He's a designated terrorist. We should not be bringing any of those people back to the United States. That's my view.
Facts. That's my view too.
Some common sense from Tom Homan there. But what do you make of Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen traveling to El Salvador to try and visit this alleged criminal?
I think this is fascinating to me. I mean, look, here are the facts, just so we're clear, and I think Tom Homan did a good job of laying them out. This individual came into the United States illegally. Fact. No one disagrees with that. Fact. He was a member of a gang. In his court pleading, he says that he's concerned about going back to El Salvador because he is a member of a gang. So that was his pleading to the court. Fact. He has a deportation notice issued by a court in the United States saying he must go home.
Right.
And final fact
The
is
fuck?
he is a citizen of El Salvador. Yeah. I don't understand what Chris Van Hollen is doing, because he's basically going down saying, I want to rescue a gang member from another country to come back into the United States, potentially do harm. You played those clips over and over again. The idea that he is a Maryland man, that's like saying I'm an astronaut because I look at the moon and I mean, like, what makes him a Maryland man? He's not from Maryland. He happened to be in Maryland when he got arrested.
Right.
But that makes me Australian because I visited there once and bought a pair of Uggs. That doesn't make me Australian. And I think that the media here is more sympathetic with a gang member from another country who has broken the law and been in the United States in order to be deported than they do with the thousands of victims who have faced the violent crimes from people in this country illegally.
Facts.
The idea
Facts.
that the United States senators going to another country to beg for a citizen of that country to come back to the United States really speaks volumes to their priorities. And this is the fight that President Trump will win every day of the week.
I hope they vote his ass out. That's all I got to say. Now, these are the documents that they released.
Joining us now, NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delanian, NBC News senior White House correspondent Kelly O'Donnell, MSNBC legal correspondent Lisa Rubin, former U.S. Attorney Barbara McQuaid, and New York Times reporter Jeremy Peters. Ken, we'll start off with you. What do these documents released yesterday prove or not when it comes to what we know and still don't know about Abrego Garcia's criminal history?
Well, they don't say anything about a criminal history, Allie. They do speak to the fact that he may have been detained in a murder investigation some period back, although he disputes that. And they show that his wife filed a civil restraining order in connection with domestic violence allegations, and then later dropped that case. But what these documents do is shed light on why the Prince George's County Gang Unit and the Department of Homeland Security believed that he is an MS-13 gang member. And they lay out a series of pieces of evidence. One, that he was arrested at a Home Depot alongside a confirmed gang member with a violent record. Two, that he was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie that had insignia on it that the Prince George's County Police believed was associated with a gang. So it sort of fills out the picture a little bit more about why not only an immigration judge, but an appeal in the immigration system determined that there was sufficient evidence that he was an MS-13 gang member. Now, obviously, he disputes that. His lawyers dispute that. And immigration courts are not criminal courts. There was no proof beyond a reasonable doubt here. But the question of whether he's deportable is not a question of whether he's a criminal. Those are two separate things. If the Department of Homeland Security determined that he was an MS-13 gang member and he was in the country illegally, then he was deportable. Whether he should be in a prison in El Salvador is another question here. But these documents do shed light on why DHS believes he is an MS-13.
Right. No questions asked. You here illegally. The fuck? Okay, I'm going to delete that one.
Well, when last we saw Senator Chris Van Hollen from Maryland, he was at the
I like him. This is let me see if I could get his name. This is Larry Show. I like him.
Single-handedly rescue one of his constituents. The problem is the definition of a constituent is an
This is the Larry
voter.
Show.
And this guy is not, well, a legal voter. He, of course, is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He's the MS-13 gang member who was born in El Salvador, came into our country illegally in 2012, was supposed to be deported in 2019, and now he finally did get deported. But Chris Van Hollen, the senator from Maryland, well, as far as he's concerned, he's the most important man in his state. No, the most important.
I swear, damn shame. Okay, I think I'm gonna not do this one. Man, I got so many videos, but we don't go over an hour. So I want to play this one. No, the trip backfired.
I care about every victim of crime.
No, you don't,
Use
bitch.
my taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador to bring back someone that's not even an American citizen.
Facts.
There is no other way to describe what's happening right now in El Salvador other than one of the biggest disasters in Democrat Party history.
The lady that they just showed is Rachel Moore's mother, who now has to take care of her kids because of what an illegal did to her after brutally raping her and unaliving her.
A senator from Maryland went all the way down to El Salvador, really attempted to convince the American public we're going to free Kilmar Abrego, and even El Salvador said, no way, you are not meeting with Kilmar Abrego just because you flew all the way down here and you're from the United States. Let's dig into this.
I've had back-to-back meetings here in El Salvador with our team from the American Embassy, with the Vice President of El Salvador, with human rights groups. And the entire purpose has been to bring Abrego Garcia home because U.S. courts have determined that he was illegally abducted from the United States.
And that's a lie.
Himself in the most...
That's a lie. I hope y'all vote his ass out. Okay, I'm not gonna play that. Wait a minute, let me see. I want to play this because he did meet with him.
Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen says he has met with Kilmar Abrego Garcia in El Salvador. Van Hollen pushed for the meeting after much speculation about Abrego Garcia's well-being. Senator says this case is much bigger.
That's them meeting together.
We need to make sure that the court system works and due process works, because if you take it away for any individual, it's a very short road.
He had due process. How much do he get? He get more than...
From El Salvador late today here in Washington. The Trump administration, the Department of Justice officials have been posting that photo saying Senator Van Hollen should instead be meeting with victims of crimes by undocumented immigrants versus with one. The senator will likely speak to that issue here. But you have this broader issue. What becomes of Mr. Abrego Garcia independent of this meeting? The president of El Salvador says he will remain in Salvadoran custody in that prison, and the lawsuits, the legal challenges about getting him back continue to mushroom, Vlad.
Yeah, I mean, that image was, I think we were all this morning, Scott, on CBS Mornings, during your reporting, we just sort of wondered at the image itself of Mr. Abrego Garcia in civilian clothing. He looked fairly healthy. Again, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't know.
And then when they brought Garcia back, he said he was beaten and brutally, and Barkelly released so many photos of him working out, getting checked out by medical staff and everything. They disputed those lies. So that backfired too. Oh, and then they put margaritas on the table, and this is what what happened after that.
Okay, so get this. Senator Chris Van Hollen is now claiming that President Bukele set him up to make him look bad. Yeah, as if traveling to El Salvador on the taxpayer dime to visit a deported MS-13 member doesn't make you look bad enough. So President Bukele posted this on social media. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, miraculously risen from the death camps and torture, now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in the tropical paradise of El Salvador. Well, Van Hollen ended up holding a press conference that just ended a few minutes ago, debunking that photo. Yes, his entire press conference was basically claiming that he was set up by these margaritas to make him look bad. You cannot make any of this up.
You can't.
What I would call Margarita Gate. I don't know if you guys have been following this, but President Bukele, after I met with Kilmar, did this tweet showing us at a table with these two glasses. So here's what happened. When I first sat down with Kilmar, we just had glasses of water on the table. I think maybe some coffee. And as we were talking, one of the government people came over and deposited
Oh, hold on.
glasses on the table with ice and I don't know if it was salt or sugar around the top, but they look like margaritas. And if you look at the one they put in front of Kilmar, it actually had a little less liquid than the one in front of me. To try to make it look, I assume, like he drank out of it. Let me just be very clear.
Anyway, they made you look like the fool you are. That's what they did. Now look at this one. This is Professor Nash.
Hollow is now crying and whining, claiming if you can see those margarita glasses right there. Look at the way he's looking at this guy. I mean, it's like this guy wants to. I mean, it's so pathetic. This guy has negative aura. He is so feckless, ballsless, gutless, spineless. The direct opposite of what we want in leadership. He is the swamp vermin, just like Ratty Raskin and Pencil Dick Schiff. They're all cut from the same cloth. Look at the way he's looking at this guy. So here's just a close-up. You see those two glasses right there? Bukele actually delivered these two margaritas as Van Hollow met with this criminal MS-13 terrorist organization, illegal alien, when Patty Moore, and God bless her heart, I don't know if you missed that video, you gotta check that out.
Man.
He completely neglected to send even a word of condolence to Patty Moore.
Facts. Facts. That's what I've been saying. Facts. Ain't said shit about what her family went through. Now here go Trump going in. Go on, Trump.
Ensure that criminals, fraudsters, and illegal aliens are not permitted to rob America's seniors. They are trying. But no, I appreciate that question.
Oh,
no,
shit.
Look, he's a fake. I know him. I know them all. They're all fake. And they have no interest in that prisoner. That prisoner's record is unbelievably bad. If you would go into the room, you might, if you would, Carolyn, maybe go into the room and see if you can find that little slip. I wrote some things down. I don't know why you'd want to keep them, but I just we got a little biography of him. Not a very innocent guy. Yeah, please. This is the man that the Democrats are wanting us to fly back from El Salvador to be a happily ensconced member of the USA family. Isn't it a shame? And by the way, I've been hit pretty hard by fake shows, fake news, MSDNC in particular, where they talk about how evil I am, that this man would be thrown out of our country. This man is according to certified statements that we get, is a very violent person. And they want this man to be brought back into our country where he can be free and to stay as a happily Maryland, they call him the Maryland man. He's a Maryland father.
Oh, let me get my phone.
Maybe go into the room and see if you can find that little slip. I wrote some things down. Bad things are going to happen. Bad things. So we're getting them out. And that's why I was elected. A judge wasn't elected to do that. I was elected to do that. And we're doing it in record fashion. We have the safest border, the most secure border we've ever had. See the Declaration of Independence? You should all read that before you leave. And the people of this country want those people out. Because what Biden did, and I don't know if he did it, I'm not even sure he knows what the hell he was doing, but what
Facts.
these people did, representing him, was allow millions and millions of people from jails, from prisons all over the world, people from mental institutions and insane asylums, gang members, drug dealers, pouring into our place. And you know what? Our people voted for me to get them out. They want them
Facts.
out. They want them out. And we've done a hell of a job.
Facts. Get the fuck out. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. Delete that. Okay, Trump, we already did that. Man, I didn't know I had all these videos, so I can't play all this. Let me see. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna go about 10 minutes over.
Garcia, the alleged MS-13 gang member who was wrongly deported to El Salvador's notorious mega prison last month, held the rank of Chicao and the street name Chile within the vicious criminal organization, newly released documents revealed. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi shared additional evidence Wednesday to support President Trump's claims that Abrego Garcia is a member of the violent international gang after cops found him socializing with confirmed MS-13 gangbangers in a Maryland Home Depot parking lot in March 2019. Following that incident in Hyattsville, a proven source told police that Abrego Garcia was an active member of MS-13's Western Cliques. The source identified his gang rank as Chicao and his alias as Chile. Officers also noted his clothing, a Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie with images of cash-covered presidents as, quote, indicative of Hispanic gang culture. The attire symbolized, quote, see no evil, hear no evil, say no evil. The Bulls hat, according to the report, indicated he was, quote, in good standing with MS-13. Abrego Garcia was among 260 suspected gang members sent to El Salvador's infamous CCOT prison last month.
Okay, we ain't got to go through all that. We know that. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I love this man. He's an attorney, but he pull up all the documents. This is attorney Andrew Brennan.
Ordered the White House that they were to secure the return of MS-13 terrorist Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia from the El Salvador prison resort of CCOT. And the White House said, what? I think this is an overreach of your authority. In particular, unelected black-robed inferior district trial court judge Paul Azenis ordered the administration to facilitate and effectuate the return of MS-13 terrorist Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia by midnight on Monday. If you're ever compelled to use force in defense of yourself or your family, the good news is that if you defended lawfully, you can be very hard to convict. But did you defend lawfully? Because if you don't know where actual legal boundaries for self-defense are, it's the easy. And the White House said, what? you want us? We don't have him in custody, right? He's in custody of an independent sovereign nation, El Salvador. We don't have any control over El Salvador. We can't order them about it. It's not our prison. You're asking us to engage in foreign relations negotiation. Us, the Article 2 executive branch of government, to whom foreign relations
Brian,
are delegated by the U.S. Constitution, and for whom none of that foreign relations authority is delegated to the Article 3 judiciary branch. And yet you're ordering us around to engage in foreign national negotiations as if we were absorbed in your court.
Facts.
I think this is an overreach of your authority. I think it is. In particular, unelected black-robed inferior district trial court judge Paul Azenis ordered the administration to facilitate and effectuate the return of MS-13 terrorist Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia by midnight on Monday.
And then you give a deadline. That didn't work out for you. I just want to show this. And I'm going to have to come back with a part 2. I just am. But I need to get into some articles that I've already had. Damn, maybe it wasn't no. Damn. Because I need to get this stuff on my phone. A federal judge out of the U.S. District of Colorado today engaged in yet another grotesque violation of the separation powers doctrine in violating Article 2 executive branch authority over foreign affairs. The particular judicial Judge Charlotte Sweeney, Biden class 2022, ordering that the Alien Enemies Act doesn't say what it clearly says. That in any case, the president is only allowed to assert the Enemy Act if he does so in a manner acceptable to an unelected judge and by cracking the word salad machine this is I love y'all check him out attorney he pulled all the paperwork. He pulled all the paperwork. He the truth for real. I gotta get this stuff up out of here. I might just end up deleting most of these. Do Kilmar Abrego Garcia tattoos link him to MS-13? And I'm not even gonna read the article, but I'm just gonna show the picture if they have it. But they said he had MS-13 tattoo on his knuckles. Yeah, I'm not gonna read this. But this is sometimes how they have it on their back MS-13 or on their face or something like that. But that's the example of the tattoo. But they said he had it on his knuckles. I'm trying to see if this article got. So Salvadorian president, he mocked that Senator Van Hollen when he came by putting the margaritas out. I'm not gonna read this either. Get this stuff out my phone. Then Pam Bondi came out and said that he was the worst of the worst because how long he's been living illegally with an order of deportation. When Kilmar Garcia was pulled over by Tennessee Highway Patrol in 2022, he was driving a car owned by a man convicted of human trafficking, human smuggling. The Department of Homeland Security confirmed. Albert Garcia was pulled over by Tennessee Highway Patrol about 115 miles out of Nashville. When they pulled it over, according to the video, none of them spoke English. He don't speak English well, but the Biden administration said let him go. During the stop, Tennessee patrol officer noticed there were 8 other people in the vehicle, and despite Garcia telling the officer he was headed from Texas to Maryland, there was no luggage in the vehicle, according to DHS documents, leading the counter officer to suspect that this was a human trafficking incident. And he says that in the video cam. Oh, y'all, we supposed to get a $2,000 rebate check. Well, that's another gang member. Okay. So then we have another senator saying that deporting Garcia was a screw up. Oh, that's Senator John Kennedy. I like him. He out of Louisiana said it was a screw up by Donald Trump's administration. Kennedy took issue with Senate colleague Van Hollen, who has argued Garcia hasn't experienced due process. Kennedy said Kilmar had been in front of 17 judges before turning into the Trump administration. How much fucking due process? He had enough. This was a screw up, in my opinion. The administration won't admit it, but this was a screw up. Mr. Garcia was not supposed to be sent to El Salvador. He was not, but now he back. And like I said, I don't see how he think he gonna stay in the United States when you've been here illegally. You're not. I don't see how this is gonna work out well for you. But we about to get a $2,000 check. I wanted to get through some of this stuff that I had in my phone. If I'm about to end this in 1 minute. Let me see, 25. Let me look through this. Oh, let me. Hey, oh, I'm live, so I'm gonna call you back, okay? Yeah, no. I'm live on YouTube, so I'm gonna call you back. That'll be fine. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Dang, that's a long article. Okay. Officials prepared to return Abrego Garcia until Trump intervened. Some officials in the Trump administration tried to bring back Garcia just days before he was deported, but the president shut them down. Since Garcia was unlawfully deported, he was not. He was illegal with a order of removal in 2019. What the fuck is the problem? But now he stands alone because where are all those senators? Where are all these people at? Oh shit, I deleted it. Oh, I got that. Okay. All right. I'm gonna show one more video and then we're gonna be out with this one because I gotta come back. I'm coming back with Young Doll. With Young Doll. I'm gonna end. Oh yeah. Nope. I'm gonna do two more.
I mean, Chris Van Houten, the guy that didn't want to sign the Lake and Riley Act that protects American citizens against illegal alien criminal gang members, who instead of protecting Americans, his constituents, his taxpayers, he goes to El Salvador and defends an illegal alien with a deportation order that's a member of MS-13 that has been designated a terrorist organization by President Trump. That's who he went to defend it. It's just
Right.
disgusting. The same senator whose state yesterday released an illegal alien charged with murder refused the ICE detainer, hit the street. So rather than protecting his community, protecting the residents of Maryland, he
Facts.
goes to El Salvador to coddle an MS-13 gang member. Terrorist. It's
Facts.
also, I talked to him.
Facts. I hope they vote him the hell out. Okay, I'm gonna end with this one. I'm gonna have to come back. Nah, this gonna fuck y'all up. I'm gonna end with what Bukele said. Oh,
We'll explain it because very little has been written in the West about MS-13 is one of the major gangs.
And they are satanic also.
That was my question. So I hope you will explain it because very little has been written in the West about this.
They're satanic.
But actually,
he said they satanic.
MS-13 started in Los Angeles in the U.S., but as the organization grew, they became satanic. They started doing satanic rituals. I don't know exactly when that started, but it was well documented.
Yes.
In our arrest, we even found altars and things like that.
Yes, I've seen it. So human sacrifice was a part. So that's almost never described in English language press as clearly as you just described it.
No, which is weird.
Well, you sort of wonder why.
Yeah.
If there's a spiritual component that's driving it, why not just say so?
Yes.
But I guess my point is you saw it as that.
Yes. Yes. There's a spiritual war and there's a physical war. If you win the spiritual war, it will reflect into the physical. I think our victory was because we won the spiritual war.
13 is one of the major gangs.
And they are satanic.
And they are satanic. And this what you want in this country. Oh well, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm coming back with Young Dolph. I miss Dolph. Damn, I miss Dolph. I'm trying to end it. What's the problem?